What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are about to dive into this video and talk about what's going on between Canada, Europe, and the US of A. Recently, Carney strengthened his ties, defending sovereignty in Europe. So he took a trip over to Europe and met with the president of France, I believe, and King Charles. And I'm trying to see if he met with somebody else. We're going to see in this video. But let's dive in, see what's going on. And like always, guys, let's have a conversation down in the comments section. Besides that, let's go.
This first stop on his first official trip came at the request of Canada's Prime Minister. Notre Dame Cathedral, rebuilt from the ashes, a symbol of resilience. And resilience is exactly what Mark Carney is trying to build in the face of economic and territorial threats coming from the U.S.
That's crazy. And the problem here is Canada and the USA has been border brothers, man. With this stuff that's going on should never even started. Donald Trump threatening them, telling them they need to be, what is the 51st state of America? Listen, not everyone wants to be part of America. They're good how they are. If they want to stay Canada and stay independent, let them do that. You want to put tariffs on them about trades and stuff like this because you're trying to impose your will. That's not cool. So he went over to France to talk about, and Europe to talk about other options, which is smart.
So a return to Canada's European allies. Prime Minister Carney said he was not seeking for them to stand up for Canada, but some support still came, even as leaders walk a fine line as to not raise the ire of the U.S. president.
Parce que nous avons la conviction, et je crois que nous l'avons en commun, que nous sommes plus forts ensemble.
We are better when we are together, said French President Emmanuel Macron,
Facts.
better able to ensure our respected interests and
Stronger
our sovereignty.
together.
Canada
Sovereignty.
is a reliable, trustworthy, and strong partner of France, which shares our values and lives them through action during this age of economic and geopolitical crises.
It's a geopolitical crisis because of Donald Trump. He's trying to do... This is crazy. And I'm American, man. It's sad to see this going on.
Carney's next stop, Buckingham Palace.
Which is true.
A moment of levity as Carney said his Order of Canada pin broke, kicking off his audience with King Charles, who has been under some pressure to strongly and publicly defend Canada. This meeting offering no such change in his position. The British Prime Minister, too, has been criticized for not saying more about Canada, but side by side with Carney, had this to say.
The relationship between our two countries has always been strong. Two sovereign allies.
For his part, Carney says
Now, why do they need them to say it publicly? Well, for me personally, action speaks louder than words. I understand. Well, it's obvious why they're not saying that they back Canada publicly, like out there like that, because of their alliance with America. Okay, I see what's going on here.
he does have the support of allies.
We have a steadfast defender in our sovereign.
This trip was also intended to send a signal to the United States that Canada can look elsewhere for trading partners as the trade war between the two countries continues. The Prime Minister warns that while counter tariffs imposed on U.S. products are important, the Canadian economy cannot support them forever.
There's a limit to matching these tariffs dollar for dollar, given the fact that our economy is a tenth the size of the United States.
Tomorrow, the
Yeah, that's tough. Bullying at its finest. Dictatorship at its finest. And normally, because they're so close together and they've been together, come on, border brothers for sure. The new prime minister, he goes to America first. And then he goes to visit the other countries. In this case, he went to Europe and said, "No, man, we're gonna look for things elsewhere. We do not have to do business with you guys. We can find it somewhere else. The problem is the tariffs. Like he said, Canada is so small, they're not going to be able to outlast America when it goes dollar for dollar with these tariffs. And that's the problem. You know, they can send counter tariffs, but at the end of the day, it's going to be tough.
The Prime Minister will travel to Nunavut to talk about Canada's sovereignty in the Arctic. Heather.
How is this helping position the Prime Minister, Rosie, in advance of an expected election call?
It seems pretty clear that the ballot box question for the next election campaign will be who is best placed to take on Donald Trump. Mark Carney has yet to speak to the president, but we're told that call could happen as early as this week. But the Prime Minister also says that no real negotiations will happen until the president stops talking about Canada as the 51st state. Heather.
Thanks, Rosie. Our chief political correspondent, Rosemary Barton.
Yeah, how you going to come in and just...
A rush on.
How are you going to just come in and pose your will and tell them they're going to be the 51st state? What kind of... Yeah, like, bro, you're a president. You're not a dictator. You're becoming a dictator. You're trying to tell people what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. That's not going to work here. What do you think this is, man? This is like, that's craziness. And it's ridiculous. Come on. Canada and America has always been brothers. Stronger together than apart. But you get someone that comes in that's trying to do guerrilla type of business maneuvers, and this is what happens. He's breaking all his relationships with the allies. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's the video. Let me know what you guys thought about this video. If I'm Canada, I would do the same thing. You got to look elsewhere because you can't play into the things that Trump's trying to impose on your country. You got to respect the Canadians as Canadians. You don't have to put tariffs on them because they don't want to be the 51st state. That's crazy. Or they don't agree with what you're saying. Come on. That's craziness. That's real foolishness. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the video. We're going to talk down in the comment section. And let me know if you feel like British Columbia, the UK, should voice that they back Canada publicly or not. Or is it that they're scared to lose their relationships with America? Because I think that's what I think it is. That's why I think they're not saying anything publicly. They welcome in the house. They say we've been strong together, but they're not saying, yes, we back you guys in face of America. But the Prime Minister of Canada, he did say that he's not looking for backing. He's just going to go and talk about support. He's not looking for them to publicly back him. He said that at the beginning. So let me know, guys. Y'all already know. See you in the next video.